Artists Kelly Cleary at Wright and Mary Lou Risch tell how the window designs evolved.
This first window is depicting day one, when God created light and dark. God created us in his image, so we chose to show his hand. The first hand opening up and giving this burst of pure, the first burst of pure light, as the other hand spreads the shadow of this light and creates darkness. We also showed stars and comets. One important thing we wanted to depict was that God's skin has many colors, and we chose a darker glass for one hand and a lighter glass for the other. The second day, God created the earth. Her surface was covered with water, and he pulled the waters from the waters. And I interpreted that as pulling water away from the ocean and leaving land behind to create our atmosphere. And in the midst of the waters was heaven. And we represented that with this warm yellow glass that surrounds the earth. And we had the water flowing out and creating clouds. And on the third day, God created land was formed, and God created the seed-bearing plants and the fruit-bearing trees. And no better place on earth to depict fruit and flowers than the Grand Valley. We started with Mount Garfield at the top. Throughout the Grand Valley, find orchards flourishing, peaches, apricots, apples, and now vineyards. Find it everywhere. They're beautiful, and we chose to represent them, as much local landscape as we could, to represent this third day. And we chose the state flower, the columbine, to represent the wildflowers, and the Indian paintbrush, daisies and stella blues and other flowers you see growing naturally in the desert. On the fourth day, God created the sun and the moon, two great lights in the sky, and depicted a great ball of fire up in the sky with some clear glass up there that refracts the light and makes it even brighter. It's hard to look at in the mornings. And then the earth in the middle is now teeming with plants and has sun to warm it, and then the moon is reflecting the light of the sun, and see the pale light coming off of it in one direction and the shadows cast this way into deeper space, where we have Saturn and another star and a comet. As I was drawing it, I kept seeing this picture of Mother Mary, and so I further developed that and very abstractly made a baby Jesus and Mother Mary for the comet. On the fifth day, God created the creatures of the oceans and the birds in the sky. In this fifth window, we have the ocean creatures, and I consulted a lot of library books to do portraits of these animals. We have a humpback whale, and I can't remember the names of these fish now, but anemones too. They're from Cousteau books. And a green sea turtle. Separating the sky from the ocean, we have a wave, and above the wave, from a photograph, I found in the library of these dolphins leaping from the water, and they were so beautiful that I traced them. They were just so joyous. It was perfect for this piece. And down at the bottom, on the floor of the ocean is, yes, the clam of God. This sixth panel also depicts the fifth day and shows the birds that were created. We were able again to use local flavor in the form of birds that are here year-round. First we have a male meadowlark on a boulder in a field, singing out his song, and above him is a male western tanager, also a local bird, and then above them, male and female red-winged blackbirds, and then a broadtail hummingbird, And above that, a mountain bluebird. And then soaring above is a red-tailed hawk, one of my favorites. And then a storm brewing above in the clouds. And the clouds help to unify all these different panels by spreading across the top panels, all 11 windows.
Day 6, God made the beasts of the earth and the cattle and everything that creeps on the ground. At the top we see first the aspen leaves, which cover the mountainsides and are golden in the fall time. Then we come to the buffalo, which roamed the land many years ago. Opposite him, the foot of a dinosaur has been inserted, which also roamed the Colorado countryside. Further down, we have a deer, which are very prolific in the hills. And then as we come to the lowlands, we have cattle and their babies. Here we have a peaceful scene of a lamb refreshing itself. And lastly, we have a little ladybug. And God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. In these windows, we see Adam and Eve minutes after their creation. And Eve is sifting sand and dirt through her fingers. The setting is in Rattlesnake Canyon, which is some very scenic canyons and arches. Beneath them, we have the desert scene of the cactus and the poppy and the lizards. Day 6, and God saw that all he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the 6th day. Within the Garden of Eden flowed one river, and then it branched into 4, the Pison, the Gihon, the Tigris, and the Euphrates. In our windows we depict water flowing over high rock formations into streams. At the edge of the river, there is a yucca in bloom. This integral piece of the entire design represents to the Glass Guild the 3 generations who have worked so many hours in stained glass. A 15-year-old designed the yucca in the beginning stages before the theme was decided. His grandmother, a regular, cut each piece separately. Its blossoms blow in the wind before artists point on the Colorado National Monument.